I've got to go. Let me respond. There's a lot to respond to here. Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed. What I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay? Number one. Number two, I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it. I'm the only person who's ever run on 3 platforms that I was told could not possibly win the election, and I never ceased from it. One was on restoring the soul of this country because of what I saw happen in Charlottesville. That was it. No one else was talking about it. The words of presidents matter. Nobody else.
You're dying. That's true. And it is what it is.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
But I think the juxtaposition of that and the woman dancing in the shoe with the money flying at her, the juxtaposition of that versus some of the things that we've canceled recently, some of the things we have said are too dangerous to continue while we're talking about WAP, which stands for wet ass pussy, and she's got the bucket and the whole thing. Now again, I'm not saying that shouldn't be allowed. She's got a wet pussy. What are you going to do about it?
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month, and they won't come on and address my progressive audience. They won't come on and address Bree's audience, or Katie's audience, or Justin Jackson, or you. They are not accountable to us. They're accountable to whoever the fuck themselves. Let's not kid ourselves. As Chris Hedges taught us a long time ago, the people attracted to politics are the most mediocre of people. They're not your friends. They are elected servants, and start fucking treating them that way.
I hear Brownie is seconding you in the background.
They're not your fucking friends. They're the people standing in between us and fucking healthcare. They're putting their fucking personal position ahead of that. Don't fucking forget that. I'm talking about anybody who's a progressive in Congress who isn't endorsing hashtag the vote. All those motherfuckers who didn't show up today at our town hall. Every fucking one of them.
Get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
That the most potent force in the Republican Party is President Trump. We need Trump plus.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, both the other way, give me a look, though. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Even before you do that, and not even including that, that's why I hardly even included that number, although in one state we have a tremendous amount of dead people, so I don't know. I'm sure we do in Georgia, too. I'm sure we do in Georgia, too.
It's not they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
Everybody comes in your grandma. Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother ear.
No good. No good.
Hello, users, and welcome to another motherfucker of an episode. This is Above It All, folks. Episode 1256 for the beautiful day of July 2nd, 2021. I am your host, Andrea, and I am here to drink some coffee and ignore the rest of the chat. So, how's it going? Feeling good today, looking good today. What more do you need? Alright, so I want to make an announcement at the start here. Yesterday, I was unable to attend the first day that I have missed of Andrew Brown protests. I have a couple people that are potentially going to give me a report of what happened. I don't know if that will happen during the live show. But there are people that, were there and would like to give me a recap via, the phone or whatever. And so I had a prior engagement to do some more important things. I'm a little pissed off, right, to be honest, because I had this streak going 71 days in a row. And, I blame... Well, I'll tell you why later. I'll tell you why I missed this day at another point in time. It's a story. It exists, but it's in the vault right now. I can't open the vault. It's stuck in there for the time being. So we're going to have to wait until the vault's opened, and then I'll tell you why I missed the day yesterday. But either way, again, some people said that they wouldn't mind giving me a quick recap, but it's just depending on timing, and all that kind of stuff. But the other thing is, again, if you know, it happens after the live show is done. I'll upload it as a second segment on the video. So that's going to be the idea. But anyway, I've got some news for y'all. I'm going to give y'all some news. And we're going to provide some news coverage. And we're going to do some coverage of the news. And that's basically what's going to happen. Alright, folks. Matt is first. Abner is second. Paladin is third. Sal is fourth. Mila is fifth. Bob is sixth. Felix is seventh. Bethany is eighth. Torrentile Rage is ninth. Choky is 10. Jay Creates is 11. Brian is 12. Driving home BRB. Alright, reel on. Did I say reel on? Reel on is somewhere 11 or 12. I fucked you over. I'm sorry. But you're driving, so it doesn't matter. You won't even know that I fucked you over. Okay. Alright, folks. So let's get into some news here. Let's get into some cool-ass shit. Let's get into some motherfucking cool-ass shit. Alright. So let's get into some cool stuff from the last couple days here. So, in some very interesting news, non-political, but, you know, it's super cool. There once lived a dragon man. Human skull found in China forces scientists to rethink evolution. So this is something I looked at the other day. And I think it's really cool, and I put it in the docket for one of these times where I have a lot of shit to do. So, the fossil could write a new chapter in the story of human evolution as researchers study the massive skull and the human species it belongs to. So, this is super cool stuff. Weeks after the discovery of a unique group of extinct humans from the Israeli site of Neshir Ramlah, another discovery in China is reshaping the story of human evolution. The 140,000-year-old fossilized skull excavated from northeastern China belongs to a previously unknown human species, Homo longi. Hell yes, folks. Hell yes, Homo motherfucking longi. That's me. Dubbed as Dragon Man by Chinese researchers, the discovery has opened a new branch in the human family tree, as researchers believe the newly found fossil is more closely related to modern humans than Neanderthals. The completely preserved fossil skull discovered in the Harbin area provides critical evidence for understanding the evolution of humans and the origin of our species, researchers said. The research, published in 3 different papers in the journal The Innovation, states that it has recently become clear that several human lineages coexisted with Homo sapiens during the Middle and Late Pleistocene period. Thank you very much. The researchers said that the fossilized skull is one of the most well-preserved human fossils and advances the understanding of previous such finds from the region. This is amazing. For those of you that don't know, I love science, I love evolution, I love all that kind of shit. Let me turn on a light here. The skull, which is 23 centimeters long and more than 15 centimeters wide, is larger than a modern human skull, with enough room for a human brain. It consists of thick eye sockets, brow ridge, and researchers believe it belongs to a man who is about 50 years old. That's a long time for 140,000 years ago. That's a long time. The specimen belongs to a well-built man who could withstand brutal cold winters in the region. The man appears to have had low cheekbones and his mouth was broad. The lower jaw is missing. While it shows typical archaic human features, the Harbin cranium presents a mosaic combination of primitive and derived characteristics, setting itself apart from all other previously named Homo species. AFP quoted Ji Qiang, I'm so sorry, a professor at Hebei Geo University who led the research, as saying, researchers believe that the Dragon Man likely lived in a forested floodplain area, and in a bid to establish the position of newly found specimen in the human tree, they entered it into the database along with fossils of 95 other skulls. They found that it formed a new branch closer to modern humans than Neanderthals. Again, that's super fucking cool. How did they find Dragon Man? The skull was first found by laborers while building a bridge over the Songhui River in Harbin as late as 1933. What? They found this in 1933? I don't believe it. Back at that time, the region was governed by Japan, and in a bid to safeguard it from falling into Japanese hands, the Chinese laborers wrapped it and hid it in a well, where it remained for over 90 years. That's so... I love that shit. I love history, folks. History is the coolest shit in the world. This skull was found only after one of the laborers told the story to his grandson in 2018. So, like, a bunch of motherfuckers were just chilling with this skull in the well. And then they're like, back in my day, we found a skull and we threw it in the well. And then the grandkid was like, whoa, wait, what? There's a skull in the well? Let me go check this out. Once found by the family, the fossil was donated to the Geoscience Museum of Hebei Geo University. The team of researchers then conducted a geochemical analysis of the skull and dated it to at least 146,000 years old. The researchers maintain that because of a long, difficult, and confusing history since the discovery, the information about the exact geographical origin of the fossil has been lost. Super fucking cool, folks. That is my shit right there. So, if there's any more updates or findings when it comes to this, I'm super interested. And again, love me some history. That's that good shit. So, bada boom. Woo! Hello, Umar. Pretty good. Philby, I went on the Ben Dixon show last Thursday, and we were scheduled, but there was like a conflict. Someone else like had some sort of thing, and you know, I'm open all the time. So, you know, it's basically like someone else is more a little bit difficult to schedule, so they took my spot, and I'll be back on at another point. This is what, how do people do, like, have guests on every single episode of their show? Like, I stream 7 days a week. There's no fucking way. There's no goddamn motherfucking way and son of a bitch in hell I'd be able to fill 7 fucking days a week of guest slots, dude. That's fucking crazy. Though, I should maybe do, like, a fucking thing where I, like, every Thursday and Monday I have a guest or something. But even then, I was just like, yeah, whatever. I'll have them on when I feel like it. Hello, Bodan. Your chat is your guest slot. That's what I'm saying. Most of these fucking shows don't interact with the chat room. Like, keep that in mind. Like, when's the last time the Ben Dixon show has said, like, hey, in the chat? When's the last time the Majority Report has said, what's up, in the chat? They don't do that because they're fucking sellouts. By the way, Max the dog. Maxie! Woof! He's sleeping. He's not interested in me at this current moment in time. Alright. I have not, Umar. Sal, I know they do. I'm just fucking around. I'm just trying to assert my dominance in left-wing media on YouTube. Thoughts on Trump's run in 2024? I can't fucking wait. All right, folks. Whew! I don't even know where to begin, so I'm just going to get into this story, folks. A third grader drew a rocket that looked like a penis. She was handcuffed and removed from school. I'm sorry, this is fascism. Like, full stop. No ifs, ands, buts. This is Nazi Germany shit. I'm not even fucking around with you right now. This is full scale, what the fuck is going on fascism. So let's read. After a Florida teacher mistook a third grader's drawing of a person hugging a rocket for male genitalia, police seized the child for involuntary psychiatric examination and threw her into the back of a squad car, according to a new federal lawsuit. A group of parents and advocates filed the complaint against the school board of Palm Beach County and local officials Tuesday. What happened to the third grader, who was 8 years old at the time of the incident, is often called being Baker acted, after a Florida law that allows children to be taken to a facility for involuntary mental health exam if they're suspected of seriously harming themselves or others in the near future. So drawing a poorly shaped rocket means that you're suicidal. At least 1,216 kids were Baker acted in the Palm Beach County School District between the 2016 school year and the 2020 school year. According to the lawsuit, as a result, hundreds were removed from their classrooms each year, handcuffed and driven away by police employed by the school district. Fascism. Fascism. Sorry. Those impacted were disproportionately black, including the third grader, who is traumatized, according to the lawsuit. Some allegedly had developmental disabilities and didn't meet the statutory criteria for involuntary psychiatric examinations. And in several circumstances, the lawsuit alleges the Palm Beach County School District used the law in a harmful, illegal way. Hundreds of students in the Palm Beach County are needlessly being pushed out of the school and placed in psychiatric facilities for the most trivial and inappropriate reasons that fall far short of what is allowed under the Baker Act. Adora Obi-Nweze, the president of the Florida State Conference of the NAACP, one of the groups that filed the lawsuit, said in a statement, "Sadly, black students and students with disabilities are disproportionately subjected to this overzealous practice, and we're suing to put an end to it," which is great. The lawsuit alleges that nearly every Baker Act originating in the Palm Beach County School District was initiated by an officer. Again, I'm ACAB. Like, I'm serious. We live in a police state. You are not free. We are not free. Of the district's police department. In the past, civil rights advocates have slammed the process for contributing to the so-called school-to-prison pipeline, in which kids, particularly children of color and children with disabilities, are forced into unnecessary and sometimes traumatic interactions with law enforcement. A spokesperson for the Palm Beach County School District told Vice News that it remains committed to meeting the mental health needs of this... in its school district's position... fuck you. But one 9-year-old with disabilities, ES, was seized for an involuntary examination after he allegedly started ripping up and eating pieces of paper in 2019. I've done that. I remember when I was 9 years old. Hell, I remember when I was 8 or 9 years old and I was like, wait, you can eat paper? And I started doing it. Right? Like, that's not, like, I don't know, there's kids that eat glue, there's kids that eat paper. What the fuck? The child also swung his arms and hit a board-certified behavior analyst, as well as a window. I love how those are equally, as well as a window. Okay. If you're a kid and some motherfucker's trying to put handcuffs on you, right, first of all, that's child abuse. Putting handcuffs on a child is child abuse. Anyone who does so should be sent to prison. I'm just saying, if you put handcuffs on a child, not only should you be fired, not only should you pay significant money in the terms of damage. When you put handcuffs on a kid, that kid fucked up for the rest of their lives. I'm telling you. They will be 70 years old and they will still be traumatized. So I think if you handcuff a child, you deserve to have to be paying them millions and millions of dollars for the rest of your life. Treat it like child support payments, right? You have to pay out all of the emotional damages for the rest of your life, for the rest of their life, because you're a piece of fucking shit, abusive motherfucker. I'm sorry. I'm just sick of this shit, man. Another child with disabilities described in the lawsuit as DP was Baker acted after he became upset and threw stuffed animals around the classroom in 2018. Stuffed motherfucking animals, bro. He also allegedly made comments like, I wish I could shoot you in your fucking head. Okay, well, I mean. And right now, I'm thinking I want to hold my breath so I can die. Staff members allegedly restrained the child face down on the floor. That doesn't help the situation. Hey, I'm suicidal right now. And then people like fucking start choking me out. Like, bitch, motherfucker, that's not helping the scenario here. What is wrong with these people? I don't know if you even know if I can finish this, but I recommend reading this yourself. I wouldn't say that there's anything problematic with that. But, again, we live in a fascist country. A fascist country. It's been fascist. It's been a police state. The really thing that you need to understand is it's creeping. Right? The police get more and more and more power year after year after year after year. They're getting more powerful. Cops in schools. Remember when we had school shootings? And then everyone was like, no, we can't do anything about guns. We can't do anything about security. We're going to put cops in schools. Have the cops ever stopped the school shooters? Nope. All they do is beat the shit out of kids. Again, if you handcuff a child, you should be financially tethered to that child for the rest of your life. You have ruined their life. You have traumatized them for the rest of their life. So at least for the rest of your life, you should be paying for that. That's my opinion. This shit is fucked up. Looking at my phone, folks. All right, folks. All right, folks. Let's see how this goes. Hertford, North Carolina Police Department officially disbanded to save town money. Let's watch their little report here.
Serving and protecting the town of Hertford.
That's because the police department there disbanded. And 10 on your side's Jason Marks shows us everyone is not happy with it.
Developing news, folks. We have a developing news situation.
The Hertford, North Carolina Police Department is no longer after today. The Perquimans County Sheriff's Office will now have coverage in this small town, and that's not sitting well still with some council members.
Somber.
It's a mood felt by many in Hertford, North Carolina today. The police department that's been around for more than 250 years is no longer.
I think we should have kept our police department because they're right here in the town.
I feel like more police, the better, because every sheriff can't get to each case.
The council voted to disband the police department to save money. The mayor says it will save more than $300,000 a year, but some council members feel like it didn't have to happen.
How is it a money issue when our fund balance has been amongst the highest in the whole state of North Carolina?
The Pacoima Sheriff's Office will now have coverage of the town streets. The sheriff says 4 deputies will be assigned at all times to the town.
We're going to be there, we're going to answer calls, and we're here to do the best that we can for the community and to provide for the community.
Some council members are concerned what would happen should there be a deputy-involved shooting. Will council members get updates?
He doesn't have to answer any questions that the town deems necessary.
Council hopes that won't happen. In the meantime, the sheriff is focusing on hiring new deputies to make sure the area is covered.
I know there's
All
reasons
right.
why the town...
So, I have a hot take on this. Fuck the cops. Right? Not only fuck them in the face. That being said, the good point of county sheriff is not beholden to the city council is a very valid point to understand. So, while the city will be saving a lot of money, they lose power over their own law enforcement in their city. In my personal opinion, if a sheriff's deputy goes into a city, they should automatically be under the jurisdiction of that city, and any actions they do or take should be able to be held accountable by that city. So if you're out there in the county and you're doing your little patrols, all right, the county's got your back. But if you come into the city, if you come into the town should have automatic control and ownership of the body camera footage, ownership of all that. They should have complete control of what's going on. So this is a double-sided issue. On one end, yes, the city is losing control of their own police force, which is not good. But on the other end, it's showing that in a lot of instances, police are just unnecessary. Like, if I understand this correctly, there were only 2 or 3 officers in this police station, so they were just unnecessary. What we need to do is we need to expand law enforcement accountability. That is the number one thing. Because if we don't have accountability, these motherfuckers are going to run rampant, okay? That's true. That being said, we also don't need, like, unnecessary police forces. We just don't. Like, there's a lot of cops for no fucking reason. Like, think about this, right? If there's only 2 or 3 officers, and they're paying all this money for the department to even exist, how much of that is being spent on billing, redundant kind of paperwork? How much of that is being spent on, like, certain police vehicles with certain, like, logos and stuff? How much of that is being spent on all this shit that is just kind of, it's redundant. It doesn't need to exist. Now, again, the only downside of this really is that the city council, has less jurisdiction over the law enforcement. But that is something I hope they can expand upon to gain more power and leverage in that scenario. But either way, I think overall this is a good news story. I think it shows that in a lot of cases, police aren't necessary. They don't need to exist, right? They just don't. Like, police patrolling areas typically ends up in police brutality occurring. It typically ends up in unnecessary arrests. Police patrols are mostly just ways of enforcing drug laws, right? When's the last time you've seen a police patrol actually stop a crime in action? Not really. Most of the time they just arrest people for smoking weed on the sidewalk. So we need to understand that, patrols are okay. Like, sure, have cops stationed around, whatever the fuck, right? But then patrolling through neighborhoods at all times is just a waste of our money. It just hurts people. We need to change laws. We need to change law enforcement's accountability process. And we need to change the amount of power that law enforcement has. Those are the biggest things. Now, me personally, get rid of the motherfuckers. Abolish all of them. Abolish all of them. We don't need them. We don't need them. We don't need the fucking cops. What are the cops doing? Every time I've ever been involved in a crime, being a victim of the crime, you know what? When the cops were called, they didn't even help. Fuck them. I don't need cops in my life. That being said, we should have some, of course, authority procedure. But law enforcement, as it is constituted right now, in my opinion, is garbage. Get rid of them all. Rethink the entire process. Because I've got news for you. If it is your job to enforce racist and unjust laws, right? What does that make you? I'm just saying, what does that make you? Like, you can be a cop that looks the other way when someone is, smoking weed or whatever. Just like how you can be a cop looking the other way when you pull someone over for speeding, right? The law enforcement really boils down to what cops want to do in the moment. And that's why the laws are so important, right? When you have laws on the books, like the drug war, for example, which again was initially instituted as a way to target, quote, the blacks and the hippies by Richard Nixon's administration in the 1970s, right? That allows for law enforcement to do selective enforcement, right? That is something that we cannot, what the fuck? What is that garbage? When you give them the purview to abuse certain people or not abuse certain people, they're going to be more selective, they're going to be more prejudicial, and it's just going to be a problem. But again, it is a bad thing that the city council will no longer have any jurisdiction over the police, over law enforcement in their city. That is a bad thing, and they need to definitely work out some sort of deal with that, because if they don't, I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of problems. But either way, I think this is a step in the right direction. A step, right? Not the full course. Because again, we do not have complete abolition. There are still sheriff deputies that patrol the streets and all that kind of shit. So we do not have full abolition in the way that I would like. And so again, I'm just throwing out my opinions on this. But Hertford, North Carolina no longer has a police department. That's pretty cool, I guess. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's starting to rain like a motherfucker. I'd like to get a vibe check, folks. Come on. Pulse check. Do it with me. What's the vibe? Alright, the vibe's pretty good. How close is that town near you? It's relatively close. Quentin Jackson, the councilman who spoke in the video that was played, he marches with us in Elizabeth City often. I'm loving the vibes in this chat room. Right, a 10 out of 10 vibe. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. What more do you need? Yeah, honestly, Elizabeth City Police, I mean, ugh. No good. No good. Let me even better. Elizabeth City Police.
No good, really bad for you.
Alright. So I got a story that's going to piss me off. Oh shit, this story was literally updated. Okay. This story was updated today, like right as the show started. I had this like queued up at like 9:54 and it was updated at 9:55 it says. So let's check this out. Sha'Carri Richardson talks about having to miss Tokyo Olympics after failing drug test. Updated at 9:55 a.m. Sha'Carri Richardson went on the Today Show on Friday and spoke about accepting her 1-month suspension for marijuana use and being blinded by emotions in the wake of her mother's death. Already, I'm already fucking pissed the fuck off about this. Okay, you should not have to come up with an excuse to smoke weed. Especially if your mom's dead. When my mom died, bitch, I was fucking high 24/7. I don't even remember those fucking 7 or 8 months. Right. But, okay, so, like, the idea that using marijuana is something to be ashamed of. Fuck you in the face, go fuck yourself. I need you to just get the fuck away from me. The idea that using marijuana somehow would impact your physical performance at a sport, go fuck yourself. You're an idiot. You have no idea how fucking the world works, and physics is not your fucking forte. 3, the idea that marijuana is legal in so many countries, legal in half of the United States, and yet it is still banned at the Olympics. What? Again, you need to go and do something that I cannot, say that you need to do because I don't want to have the repercussions of that. Anyway, I want to take responsibility for my actions. I know what I did and what I'm not supposed to do. No. This is the problem. She is being bullied for something that is perfectly natural. This would be, again, okay, think about this. Is coffee banned? Is caffeine banned in the Olympics? Is it? Can someone tell me? In fact, I'm going to look it up right now. Is caffeine banned? Let's see. Nope. Caffeine is not banned. According to Google, according to this, it says you're allowed to enjoy 1 cup of coffee before competing. So, anyway, you're not gonna ban coffee, something that actually has stimulating effects, but you're gonna ban marijuana? What? Like, again, and the fact that she is being bullied and harassed into, quote, accepting responsibility. No. I'm sorry, motherfucker. No. Nope. You did nothing wrong. There is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with smoking marijuana. It has no impact on your abilities to perform. And, again, marijuana stays in your system for a while. So if you smoked a joint 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and then you're doing, that has... Like, I get it, right? You don't want your athletes to be smoking fucking 13 joints and then going out to run and then, I get that. But if you smoked a single or 2 joints fucking 3 weeks ago, somehow that being disqualified... I'm sorry, go fuck yourself. Not making an excuse or looking for any empathy in my case. No. You deserve... First of all, you don't need an excuse. You don't need one. There's no excuse required. And second of all the empathy in the world is what we need. But being in that position in my life and finding out something like that, something that I would say has impacted my life positively and negatively in my life, when it comes to dealing with the relationship with my mother, that definitely was a heavy topic on me. Richardson also said she was definitely triggered and blinded by emotions, blinded by badness and hurting, and hiding hurt. I know I can't hide myself, so in some ways, I was trying to hide my pain. So the original story goes as follows. They originally reported it as she failed a drug test. What? Failed a drug test? Okay, Olympic athlete fails drug test. Alright, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Steroids? Cocaine? Like heroin? No, weed. What? Weed. You fail a drug... First of all, when you fail a drug test, you already know what the drug is. You don't you failed the drug test, now we have to do a secondary, tertiary analysis to understand which drug you... No! As soon as you know that the drug test was failed, guess what? You know why it's failed. You get both of those pieces of information at the same motherfucking time. So the idea that they originally printed this as she failed a drug test is purposefully disgusting. It's racist and it's evil. This is what this boils down to. These people participated in a targeted harassment and bullying campaign of an Olympic athlete. Someone who had gone through a tragic experience with her mother dying. That is not something anyone should go through. Do you not think that this is fucking traumatic? Not only does your mom die, but then you're trying to cope with it a little bit and you get fucking fired from your once-in-a-lifetime dream job and the entire internet is trying to make it look like you're some drug addict? No, that is unacceptable. And so again, I just wanted to be out here and say I completely support them. This is absolutely an extremely important story, and we cannot let this go away. This is something, again, there are other Olympic athletes that smoke weed. Michael Phelps comes to mind, right? So it's like, what? You're gonna ban the black woman for smoking weed, but not the white man? Okay, sure, whatever, motherfucker. That's called being a fucking jackass. That's called being a disgusting motherfucker of a human. Also, fuck the Olympics in general. The Olympics are stupid. That being said, of course, weed should not be a crime. Weed is not a drug. If sugar is not a drug, if alcohol is not a drug, if caffeine is not a drug, I've got news for you, motherfucker. Weed is certainly not a drug. Because those three substances, right, caffeine, sugar, and alcohol, those are significantly more effective on people's performance than any weed could ever dream of being. Matt Strackbine, I was praised by the IOC and the OC of 5 nations for my work on competitive Olympic apparel. My chemical makeup was 99% weed at the time. This motherfucker is making Olympic uniforms while high as a motherfucker, but they can't be wearing them while high as a motherfucker? Sorry. Fuck you? Shit's ridiculous, man. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. I don't know what else. It's fucking ludicrous. Like, how are you gonna repeat that shit? Or report that shit as failed a drug test? Was never not stoned. Fucking Matt. God damn it, man. Black athletes are being asked to boycott the Olympics. Good. They should. This shit's fucked up. First of all, we shouldn't even have Olympics. Second of all, there's pandemics still going on. Third of all, what the fuck? Fourth of all, people in Tokyo don't want the Olympics. There's been protests for weeks about them not having the Olympics there. Fifth of all, what the fuck? Sixth of all, the Olympics? Are you joking? Seventh of all, what the fuck? Eighth of all, sports are dumb. Ninth of all, weed is awesome. Tenth of all, what the fuck? Blamed it on a burrito. That sounds funny. Do I have like a fucking... Look at my nose. What is this? Is this sunburn? That's sunburn. Oh shit, that's sunburn. Oh my god, yo, my fucking face is sunburned. Weed's decriminalized in North Carolina? Fuck no. North Carolina is one of the most illegal states with the highest penalties for weed. Sports are like, play, it's fun. Yeah, no, sports are fine to play. Like, playing fucking, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna throw the ball, woo! Like, that's great. Right? But, like, all of that shit is just, it's disgusting. I mean, look at the fact that college athletes are not being paid at all, you know, for the fucking work that they do. Oh, we'll give you a free scholarship. No, motherfucker. First of all, college should be free in the first place. Fuck you. Oh my god. Alright, hold up. Everyone, this is the letter hack. Being high as hell in a in an Olympic whatever the fuck it is. That's extremely funny. You can tell you're high as fuck too. God damn. Skin cancer. Fuck. Oh, yo, this is badass. And I'm going to start the YouTube segment after I say that. Off-duty cop beaten up. Fires gun in Brooklyn after interrupting men lighting fireworks. Officer down, folks. Officer down. Officer down. A group of men attacked an... Folks. What? I'm reading from the New York Daily News. Okay, let's understand the analysis here. Okay, so people are lighting fireworks. Illegal or not, they're lighting fireworks, okay? Someone who they don't know is a police officer runs up on them trying to fucking beat the shit out of them. And then they defend themselves. Let's read. A group of men attacked an off-duty cop after he interrupted a group of men how do people write like that? By Carrie Burke, Thomas Tracy, and John Anise. How do you write like that? It's so redundant. Like, this is like shit you learn in 4th grade. A group of men attacked an off-duty cop after he interrupted a group of men lighting fireworks. Them works. Do you not know about pronouns? Them works just fine. A group of men attacked an off-duty cop after he interrupted them lighting fireworks in a Brooklyn neighborhood. Wednesday night, police sources say. The first paragraph, yeah, that's what the cops are saying. The 33-year-old officer fired at least one round from his pistol as he fought off his attackers. What? Attackers? Dude, attackers? Are you fucking kidding me? About 9:30 p.m. on Martenth Street at Rogers Avenue in East Flatbush. But no one was hit, officials said. Fucking attackers. It was what the fuck, closing? It was a bunch of guys with fireworks, and the fireworks were going off, and then there was a mix of shots and fireworks, and everyone started running, said one witness, who was surprised to learn an officer had been assaulted. An officer was not assaulted. If you are not wearing your uniform, I've got news for you, Jack. You're not a cop. Sorry. Remember all those stories of, like, the undercover black cops being fucking beaten to shit by white cops that are on duty? That rings to mind. If you do not have your uniform on, if you are not identifiable, you are not a cop. Full stop. Full stop. Like, if I walk into a crowd and then punch the shit out of someone and then say, whoa, and then they're like mid-punching me, and I'm like, whoa, I'm an off-duty cop. What? What? Are they supposed to just not defend themselves? If I have, like, fucking a gun pointed at someone and they have a gun pointed at me and I say, by the way, I'm an off-duty cop, if you kill me. Like, that's not how the world works, motherfucker. Because if that's how the world worked, I've got news for you. Everyone's an off-duty cop. Either you're on duty or you're not a cop. That's it. It's a binary. I don't believe in that many binaries, but that's one hell of a binary. Either you are an on-duty law enforcement pig or you are a regular citizen. Those are the only options. When you go home at night, you're not a cop, you're a person. When you wake up in the morning, you're not a cop, you're a person. When you go into the office, you're a cop, not a person. Get it fucking straight. Okay. Police said that the off-duty cop was rolling down the street. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, was he fucking, like, rolling, like, on his fucking, like, just, like, on, like, you know, like, what does that mean, rolling down the street? Was he in a car? What the fuck? When he hit an object in the road, when he stepped out of his car to see what he had hit, he confronted the men who turned on him and attacked him before fleeing, police sources said. Again, police sources said. This is such a horrible article. The officer was taken to an area hospital, but he wasn't believed to have been seriously hurt. That's the shit. One of the suspects ran into a subway station on nearby Church Avenue. Who cares? At least 16 large tubes of launch heavy-duty fireworks were left in the street as police investigated. Cops have recovered at least one shell casing. Who cares? All of these people should be embarrassed. Do you want their Twitters? Let's look at their Twitters. Check this out. Embarrassing, embarrassing, embarrassing. Yo, I've got more followers than that guy. I've got more followers than that guy. Yo, I've got more followers than all these fucking writers combined. They're all fucking garbage. Fuck them straight in the face. This isn't even news. This is just a police report. Like, how are you going to call it your website, New York Daily News, and you're just copying and pasting press releases from police? I'm sorry. Go fuck yourself. You're a fucking piece of shit. If I'm hanging out with my buddies, like, doing whatever, and some dude rolls up with a gun and threatens to kill us, damn right, I'm either going to run or I'm going to beat the shit out of them. It's not, it's no take back. Seriously. It's not like you get your shit beaten in, your teeth kicked in, and it's like, whoops, sorry, I'm a cop now. Everything you did was just highly illegal. No. No. Go fuck yourself in the face. There's no such thing as an undercover cop. There's no such thing as an off-duty cop. Sorry. How are y'all liking the show today? Any good? Yo, this is badass. Let's watch. Statues of Queen Elizabeth II, Queen Victoria, toppled at Manitoba legislature. Let's watch.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with news of a monument toppled. The statue of Queen Victoria outside the Manitoba legislature has been knocked down by demonstrators. This was the scene just a couple of hours ago where the statue, first unveiled in 1904, was brought to the ground and covered in paint. It's unclear if there's any permanent damage to the monument. The statue of Queen Elizabeth II, adjacent to the government house, was also toppled over. And this video posted to social media appears to show the moments right after the statue of Queen Victoria was brought down. People placing red handprints on the base of the statue.
I wonder, by the way,
the statue.
Okay, so we're 45 seconds into this. I wonder if they're going to mention the fact there's been over 1,000 children that have been found dead, genocided, buried in unmarked graves underneath these residential schools. What's a residential school, by the way? It's a school where you put indigenous people and try to convert them into your fucking Western fucking Catholicism. That's what they do. They bring in indigenous people, brainwash them with a bunch of religious nutbag garbage, and then if they don't listen, they murder them. Children, kids, not adults, kids, genocided, bodies, unmarked graves. What the fuck? Right, are you going to mention that? That seems to be the headline. That should be the headline. Not protesters put red paint on the statue. Why was there red paint? Why were there red handprints? We don't know. But let's find out. Do we know?
Itself. This comes after peaceful demonstrations honoring the children who died in the Canadian residential school system were held across Winnipeg today.
Okay. What? The children who died? The children who died. No. They were mass murdered. It was a genocide. This is genocide. This is like saying, like, yeah, you know, the Nazis in their concentration camps. There were a lot of people that died in them. Why they died? I don't know. They died. What? What the fuck?
This comes after peaceful demonstrations honoring the children who died in the Canadian residential school system were held across Winnipeg today.
Residential school is not ancient history. It's happening today. But today is a reminder of how we need to reset that relationship, of how we need to move forward together.
Outside the Canadian Museum for Human Rights, community leaders organized a No Pride in Genocide walk and ride. Long Plain First Nation Chief Dennis Meaches, representing Treaty 1 First Nations, is demanding the Canadian government classify residential schools, day schools, and the 60s Scoop as an act of genocide.
We love Canada, but we do have a shameful past, and that needs to be addressed, and collectively, as all people here in Canada, in this country, to come together and walk in true partnership as it was intended in the treaties. And we do need Canada to atone for its sins. Canada and the churches to atone for the sins of the past and their trespassings against Indigenous children.
Manitoba NDP MLA Nahani Fontaine, a member of Saugeen Anishinaabe First Nation, spoke on why she and other community members will not be celebrating Canada Day.
Today is a day to reflect, acknowledge, honor, and stand in solidarity with Indigenous peoples while embracing a very hard truth. Until we embrace that truth, as uncomfortable as it may make us, there is no reconciliation on our territories.
The demonstrators, clad in orange shirts, then made their way to Portage in Maine, where the Remembrance Walk continued to move through downtown Winnipeg. Participants whose family members were forced to attend residential schools say acknowledging the history of the residential school system is a crucial step towards true reconciliation.
acknowledgement, don't deny it. And for non-Indigenous people, the best thing you can do is stand beside us.
We've been mentioning this for generations already, that this is happening. But now that these children are being recovered, I think it's starting to start a conversation between everybody in Canada to make it more real for those that had no idea.
Orange flags were also placed on the front lawn of the legislative grounds to serve as a symbol of the children who died in the residential school system.
All right, folks, we're going to play a what's worse game. What's worse, tearing down a statue and painting it, or committing a genocide against children? Was anyone arrested for the genocide? People were arrested for tearing down the statues, right? So where are the arrests? The people that committed this genocide, residential schools were still going on into the 90s, and there's still certain kind of variations of them that are still ongoing today. All right, is anyone going to be arrested, held accountable? Or does the state only care about the statue and the paint? Shit's fucked up, man. Lord have motherfucking mercy. Again, the people who died, they were fucking children that were mass murdered and slaughtered and thrown into unmarked graves and hidden for decades. It's fucking crazy. My great-great-grandmother was one of these kids. She escaped by marrying a French guy. I'm sorry to hear that. Not the French guy part, but you know. Alright, folks. I'd like to say thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Again, if some of my people get into contact with me, I might do a recap from yesterday's protest, but I could not attend because of reasons. And all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I will be, however, at the protest today, and so I will keep y'all posted, and that. So, that's it. Does anyone have any comments, questions, or concerns? Still so many natives disappearing around Thunder Bay all the time. Thunder Bay podcast covers it extensively. Definitely go look that up, folks. Bob Carmody. What the hell is going on with the AM Quickie? I just found out that they canceled the show? What? Give me the scoop, bro. What the fuck? Love your persistence. Thank you so much. What? Well, I'll do the motherfucking AM Quickie. Tell Sam to hit me up. I'll start it. What's up, motherfuckers? This is... Yeah, no, what the fuck? One person leaves and they cancel the whole show? Like, this is why I only do shows by myself. This is why I cannot rely on other people. Uh-oh. My co-host quit. My career is now over. What? What the fuck? I don't have time to watch a 2.5 hour podcast every day. Okay? I'm out here protesting the government. I'm out here getting fucking attacked by the government. I'm out here getting fucking, I don't have time to watch a 2.5 hour show. I like the AM Quickie because, all right, get my little daily dose in the morning. And now it's gone? It's just gone? What? Where did it go? Why did it disappear? Where did it was erased from history? Is this a Mandela effect scenario? What the fuck is happening? Oh yeah, I was on the David Feldman show last night, and I'm gonna go back on David Feldman's office hours tonight at 8 p.m. 8:12 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope Vaush replaces what Jamie Peck was for the Majority Report. I would rather not Vaush be on the Majority Report. I would rather they get people that are way smarter than Vaush. That's not to say I hate Vaush. That's to say, he is not that kind of person, in my estimation. But anyway, questions, comments, concerns. Thank you all. Have a good day. If you don't have a good day, try again tomorrow. I will see you later. 8 p.m., 8:12 p.m. office hours with David Feldman. Tonight, folks. 2 motherfucking night.
No good, really bad for you. 8 months after his alleged meeting with the Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese. A real beautiful company.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Everybody comes in, your grandmother, your father, your mother, your brother, your everybody comes in, your grandmother, your grandmother, comes in, your grandmother, comes in, your grandmother, comes in, your everybody comes in, your grandmother.
You haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? Now,